Welcome to the Glitter Bomb Girls Show. This is our inaugural podcast. My name's Robbie-Ann McPherson. I'm here with author and bestie, Amy Asbury. Amy, what's up?
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
I think everybody's doing okay, right? I mean, we're starting this thing in the middle of a global crisis.
Is there any better time, really?
To me,
any better
no.
time?
I don't think so. I don't think so. So what we talk about on this podcast, because Amy and I are both, I don't know, what are we, losers or are we geniuses?
Losers. You know what we are? We are people that have an affinity for novelty times, such as 70s, 80s, pop culture, TV shows, toys, food, music, books, a whole array of things, Rob.
Yeah, okay. I like it. We're aficionados.
We're aficionados.
How does that? Okay. We're the Glitter Bomb Aficionados show.
We have a real appreciation for these things.
That's right. And we also, I think we're also a little bit obsessed, right?
We're sort of psycho, I will say for myself, so you don't have to say it. I'm a little bit psycho about it, I've been told.
Yeah. I've been told. I haven't heard the word psycho, but I've heard the word like Queen of the 70s. I've heard that phrase. Queen of Disco. I've heard that phrase.
Cute.
Yeah, so Amy and I can see each other. I'm in New York in the East Coast, and Amy's in the LA area on the West Coast. So we are bi-coastal. And yeah, how glamorous. So we can see each other on video, but obviously this is an audio podcast. So thank God no one can see me right now. That's all I got to say.
You are adorable. And audience, I want you to know that I only see a snippet of Robbie, but I do see, I don't know what's in the corner over there, but it looks like Castle Grayskull. a tiny corner of Castle Grayskull. No, the other side.
Oh, over here?
So audience, I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, it's a pillow.
It's a pillow.
With a decoration that looked just like Castle Grayskull. Anyway.
Yeah.
Continuing.
Yeah, anyway, I'm rocking the Corona coif, you know, and may or may not have showered. But anyway, so yeah, we want to talk about two things today. We want to talk about, number one, since our first podcast, how we met.
Yeah.
Because we have been bestie friendies for years, and like many years.
Right.
And we met back in the late 90s, the last decade of like definitive culture, I think.
But was it that late? I feel like it was like 97.
Yeah, it was like 97.
Okay, that's still late.
Yeah,
okay,
mid-late 90s, right? And
Yeah.
we were both waitresses at, how shall we say, a very famous deli.
Well, you know how you would say that? You would do air quotes around famous.
Yeah.
And then it needs you say more after that.
Yeah, and we worked at the location in Woodland Hills in the San Fernando Valley, beautiful Los Angeles. And it's not there anymore, is it?
You know what? It's not. It's not. There is still one, for anyone that knows the area, on Ventura Boulevard at Balboa.
Oh, that one's still there?
That one is still there. And Sue, in case anyone wants to go and ask for someone named Sue is still there.
Right on. Love Sue. Sue is great. Yeah, so Amy and I met. We were both servers. You were a good server. I was not.
Don't know that I was a good server, but I didn't take things personally. I was like, whatever.
I took everything personally. I took everything. I cried in the shake room so many times. Like, I totally cried in the shake room.
I mean, I cried over different things, but no, you were a kind soul. And there was horrible people there. Well, you know what? You were not. Okay, here's my assessment of Robbie, everybody. She could not believe the amount of bullshittery going on in this establishment. She couldn't believe these things actually happen in real life, and there was a management team that was okay with these policies and this protocol. It was so ass backwards that it caused her to cry. That's part of it.
You know what? That's a good assessment. But in my defense, you know, on Sunday mornings, there were not enough
You were
coffee
set up to
cups.
fail. You were
Yeah,
set up to fail,
there were not enough
as we
coffee
all
cups
were.
on Sunday mornings, and on like a rainy afternoon, there were not enough soup bowls
Nor soup spoons, by the
nor
way.
soup spoons. Oh my god! And you'd have to put the spoon in the bowl and then take the bagel chips and like loop, through the hole on the soup thing like some
Hmm.
garnish. I remember an old guy threw a
Oh,
bagel
yeah,
chip
I
at
must
me.
have had that same guy. A guy threw turkey at me.
Yeah, because
It was too dry, by the
he
way.
said, well, this guy, he didn't want bagel chips.
Mm.
And I just, I wasn't thinking, and I just put the bagel chips on the spoon anyway. And he threw them at me, and they like bounced off me. And I was like, what the? And then I went in the shake room and cried. Like,
I mean, somebody threw something at you. It was outrageous. I feel like the whole experience was absolute chaos
yeah.
and absolutely outrageous. And this is a little side note, and I will not continue on this because it doesn't go with our theme. But if you watch Vanderpump Rules and look at all that craziness, that's all kind of what it's like. The craziness, everyone drinking, going to the bar, and then the absolute fuckery and the way the restaurant was run. So it was like two different things. It was the cast of people we were working with that was chaotic.
Oh, yeah, they
It
could
was
have
the
done a
way it was
reality
run.
show at that
It was
place.
absolutely out of control.
Yeah.
And we met in this place.
Yeah. And, you're right. It's not part of our curriculum here, but man, shout out to Vanderpump Rules. I love that show.
I was like, oh, there's my life.
Yeah, I
know?
friggin' but even the characters, all these people, they're fascinating, love them. Everyone from Lisa to, whoever the new guy is. I mean, it's just I love that show. But
Yeah,
yeah, so it was crazy and there was a total cast of characters, right?
of
Like,
course.
there was the one manager who just I mean, he couldn't be bothered. Like I never saw him. The big tall, he was a big guy, super nice, but like hid in the office the whole time. His whole
Well,
shit.
he, and God love him, I'm sure he's a nice gentleman, was supposedly like selling, one of them was selling Coke out the front. And like, it was like this whole, I don't think you heard about these scandals. Oh no, that one you're speaking of supposedly was selling like fake gift certificates and like pocketing the money or something.
Oh my god.
Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy place.
And we knew none of it. We were just like, can we make our cash and leave,
Yeah, I was super naive, and I think the worst thing I ever did was this guy who had 3 kids, and they were a mess, man. They knocked over milkshakes, and it was like a scene. And I took really good care of him, and I was really nice. And his bill was like $60, and he left me $1.
Wow.
$1. So I grabbed the dollar and I ran out to the parking lot after him.
I think I
And
was
he's
there.
driving away in his minivan, and I crumpled the dollar and like threw it at him, and it bounced off his windshield.
I don't remember that. I think I remember seeing you run out the door,
Yeah, that was
and
probably
then I
it.
don't know what happened.
That was
Is
probably
that
it.
what happened? So he really saw the dollar bounce off the,
Yeah.
did he
Oh
see
yeah, it
you?
bounced right off his. Because he was. Remember out the front door.
Yeah, I know
People that was
exactly.
like a drive. Like people would
It's really a,
drive. Yeah.
it's really a back door. It
Right.
looks like a
Right. It
back
was
door.
like the
Wait,
opposite
so
of the
you're
porch.
telling me that was so insulting that
Oh, I was livid.
you just risked everything and you said, I'm gonna throw this in this guy's face. And did he ever come back? Did you ever see him
I
again?
never saw him come back. No.
He probably felt terrible.
No. Yeah. So anyway, that's how we met, and I remember. Now I'm going to tell you all about Amy. So
Oh
here's my take on Amy. So
all right.
Amy, I've always been like this nerdy, like I always had the Kmart brand of stuff, and I didn't know how to do my hair and all that. But here's Amy, this total like glamour puss, with the hair and the eyelashes and the nails, and she was so beautiful, still is. And
Nice, thank you.
I was just like, I was like studying you like a blueprint. Like, wow, like how does she look glamorous in the quote unquote famous deli polo shirt, with like ranch stains all over it. And I'm just like, wow, like you were so and above all, you were hilarious. You
Really?
were hilarious. And
Now,
still
did
are.
you know that if I took off my apron, there's a giant hole in the crotch of my pants? I had a staple stapled that hole together. Carry on.
My shoes, the black shoes, I had them taped because the sole started coming off because of all the running around.
That's so wrong.
Oh yeah, no, that place was nuts. But I remember. Now I can't remember when we first, like when we had our first quote unquote date. You know, friend date for everybody who doesn't know us. But I don't remember what happened. And we, I don't know, we went did something, and I was just like, I love this girl. She's so much fun, and you know, we kind of think alike, but we're different. And then like that led to all these shenanigans. It was like Ethel and Lucy. You know, of course I was Ethel.
Well, I knew that you loved disco, and I think you sang some song, and I went, stop the press. Someone likes disco. I got so pumped because I will stalk you for the rest of your life if you know all the words to, like, I think it was, we went over to the corner bar and there was a little karaoke machine and we put on Rock the Boat. Rock the Boat.
That old man bar. It was like the old man bar. Yeah.
We started having cocktails and singing disco songs, and I was like, oh no. You know disco? It's on. We're going out.
You know what? You're right.
The rest is history, as they say.
You're right. Now that I remember, I mean, that we also spent a Christmas in that old man bar. Yeah.
Oh, well, we just really, you know, when you really bond together when you're in really stressful times, like us running around with really, really, really hot plates on us we weren't allowed to use trays.
Right. So
we were always getting burned and sticking our hands into little toaster ovens and bagels. We were always getting burned. We were always crying. It was really loud. It smelled. We're full of grease. It was really, really, really traumatic.
Yeah, and the customers, there were a lot of mean customers.
Really mean people. So, you know, when you do that alongside somebody, you really bond to them.
Yeah.
And you kind of, they can relate to you. They know how crazy your life is.
It's a trauma bond.
A trauma bond.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember then we kind of like fell in love when we started to go to clubs and dance.
Oh.
And we went to Club 80s. What street was that on? It was in West Hollywood.
West Hollywood. Okay, so Club 80s was like a night.
Yeah, it was like a Thursday night, right?
It was a night. I was probably at where the Cat House used to be. It was probably off Highland, maybe? It was West Hollywood? Oh, yeah, it was that place?
It was West Hollywood.
I'm thinking maybe La Cienega or Robertson or something over there. I think it's over by Sir, to be honest with you.
Maybe it was Sir. Oh
I think it really was. I think it was across the street from the Abbey and like a little further down. Like I honestly think it's on that same street.
Yeah, and you had to go upstairs.
Oh yeah,
and it was Dollar Margarita night at Club 80s, and man, I those were the days. Like, you know, I was in my 20s, and you know, LA was just crazy and fun, and you know, we ended up having a really good time. That was great.
So you were working in PR back then?
No, well,
right
sort of. I was working at a lot of record labels.
Got it.
But no, I was just waitressing right then, and I was working on music, which was fun.
Oh.
Yeah, I was writing a lot of songs and singing in some cover bands and stuff. That was fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, but you know, whatever. Then I went to the dark side. My day job was PR, but we kind of, I don't know, we like drifted apart then for a little bit, because you went and got married, and you had a beautiful kid, a beautiful boy, and then I moved to Montana, where I was a TV reporter, and then I moved back here to New York, and so that's I don't know, that's kind of the short story of, you know, the beginning of Amy and Rob.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so let's take a short break, and when we come back, we are going to dig into the club music from the 80s and what it all meant. So stick with us. We'll be right back. This podcast brought to you by Taking Liberty, a novel by Robbie-Ann McPherson. 30-something Maggie can't find the courage to leave her cruel boyfriend or her miserable life in Montana. Fate intervenes, and with the help of 3 strangers, Maggie finally escapes. But her new start leads her right back to the childhood home and the old mistakes she never thought she'd have to face again. Taking Liberty, available on Kindle and on paperback on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. And we're back with the Glitter Bomb Girls Show. Robbie-Ann McPherson here with Amy Asbury. I'm in New York. She's in LA. And we are talking right now about 80s music. 80s club music.
That's
the
right.
Stuff you would hear when you'd be outside and you hear the thum, tuk, tum, tuk, tum, tuk, tum, waiting outside to get into the club. And then as soon as you got in, it would be... You'd hear all those 12-inch singles. Remember 12-inch singles?
Of course, they were the long play versions of songs.
Yeah, there'd be like 3 minutes of tick 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 tick, and then
you could do your solo,
like,
your breakdance solo during that part.
Yeah. And then it would be like some, Madonna song or something. Yeah.
Some Shep Pettibone remix or something.
Exactly, Shep Pettibone.
Or
some Paul
Full
What's
Force.
his name? Oakenfeld?
Yeah, or Cult Jam and Full Force or something. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, Lisa and the Cult Jam.
Jelly Bean Benitez 12-inch.
Yeah, he remixed all those Madonna. Didn't he date Madonna for a while?
He was sure darn did.
Yeah, back in the day. I had a bunch of Madonna 12 inches. I mean, who didn't just idolize her and love her? She was like a supernova, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I remember I worked at a record store back when Madonna first came out.
Oh, wow.
And here in Buffalo, and man, I would spend half my paycheck like on the latest, Madonna collector's 12-inch, which now is worth like $10, but whatever. I thought someday they'd be worth something, but they're not.
So was your favorite? Which was your favorite of her club song remixes?
Oh, I loved Holiday, and I loved Get Into the Groove.
Great song.
But I also loved like every single she put out, basically.
Yeah.
And and they'd make the tink tink tinky tink tinky tink, or the
Bill Harding.
Yeah. They'd make that remix of it, and then I would just be like, oh my God, it's like this song 10 different ways. Like I loved it. I ate it up.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and
great.
And then there were the like Culture Club and Wham, and that it was that whole MTV.
Loved it.
Right, with the day glow and
loved it. Yeah.
I mean, it was so much fun because you know what, the music. Like if you listen to music today, a lot of it is very depressing.
I feel like there's how there's a major and a minor tone to songs.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So the major is kind of what the happy spin on a song, and then minor is the wah, 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 like kind of a darker tones to a song.
Yeah, it's like minor keys and major keys.
So
yeah,
the
minor chords.
I feel like the minor keys, that's how it all is now. Like my mind just goes dark with this stuff that's out now. And the major key is more like Madonna's Borderline, like do 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 do. That's like a major, like what up? Maybe I'm just living in a bubble, but I kind of want that little happy thing.
Yeah.
And the keys of the songs that today, I agree with you, are just kind of, they're dark.
Right, and I'm not saying that they're bad.
They're not bad. They're
I don't think that's true. I think there's some really extraordinary artists out there, but there's something. Maybe the 80s was, it was just like this kind of happy-go-lucky, innocuous thing where the music industry was just all about club hits and dance hits, and pop radio was really spinning that stuff. But it was uplifting, and it made you happy if you weren't all that happy. And even now, like when I'm in kind of a bummer mood, or I'm cleaning the house, or or something, I mean, what do you put on, right? Do you put on 80s Madonna, or do you put on like Frozen Madonna?
stick right with, I mean, I don't go past, and I know you guys are going to kill me, but I can't, I think the last Madonna song that I will play would be from like maybe 1992. I don't go past that.
Oh, I've loved everything she's done, right up until now. I think she's such a genius, but I hear you. Like she got, she grew as an artist, which there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But when you're in a certain mood, like I want to hear, I just want to close my eyes and like hear, give me a beat,
Do,
like
do, 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 do. Do, do, do,
right.
do, do. Yes.
I don't want to contemplate my navel, and I
I
can't.
know. I
'Cause
know.
you know what? You get older and
Ugh.
life is so hard, and then there's like real problems. Like
Right?
I mean, shit really hits you and happens to you, and then you get disappointed and disillusioned and all the stuff that comes with growing up. And young people, I'm so sorry, like
But you know what's
life isn't going to
weird?
turn out how you wanted it
But you
to.
know what, Rob? And this is kind of weird. I know people right now as an adult who've never had anything bad happen to them. And they're just doo doo
Get
doo.
out.
I'm not kidding. There's two of them in my neighborhood right now. Ladies, if you're listening, you don't know who you are, sorry. But they've just never had, and I don't wish it on them, but they
No, of course not.
honestly never, they're just alive and they're just not happy or sad, but nothing bad's literally ever happened. They're just, oh,
Wow, I am so
I
in
don't
awe of
know if I
that.
want that
Like, but
though.
but what? I mean, there's that old saying, like, yeah, you're meant to be here, and everything that's happened to you has made you who you are
Right.
today, and
Yes.
all that kind of Wayne Dyer stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But is it really true? Like, if nothing happens to you and you live life just kind of being cool and happy, um, I mean, does that make them better characters or worse characters or?
I've always heard, and this might be a bunch of hocus pocus, but sometimes you can come back here as a resting life where you've had a crazy life and you can come back and hang out with your family and just chill for this go round.
Oh yeah,
So
I
this might
believe
be
that.
that for some people because literally nothing's going on and they're just going on vacations and they're happy and life's life and
Yeah, but do you think they're really happy, or are
yes.
they like faking it? Is it
No,
like
they're
Facebook?
no, they're not
9
acting.
years ago, I married my best
No,
friend.
because that's I'm not going to say anything bad about that. But no, it's really not that. They're not overly fake happy or the type that poses. They're just people. They're just people.
Yeah.
And they're not
And
bragging.
are they all up in nostalgia too?
They are no, they don't care. And this is another thing that makes me suspicious of people because if you don't I don't know, look back on something and I mean people might think I'm insane because might love this stuff way too much, but there's some people that just have no connection to anything. The days just pass. So anyway, I don't know. I thought it was odd.
Yeah, I'm envious of that. I'm envious sometimes of people that are really narcissistic and they just don't care about anybody else.
That looks
But
fun almost.
I find though that people like that are not like us. I think that's a big nostalgia thing where, like for me, all that Club 80s music and to this day, it's really hard for me to listen to Depeche Mode, the People Are People, the album that song's on.
Hmm.
I because it reminds me of like a really hard time. And there's a lot of 80s music because the 80s were not fun for me.
Well, they're kind of a memory timestamp. So
Yeah,
that album is imprinted on you. And
right.
almost like if you hear it again, you're reactivating
Oh yeah.
things that were dormant.
Yeah,
So
it
makes
totally,
sense.
like when I hear that do do do, like the
I don't want to
people
sing it.
are people.
What's the album
Um
with Personal Jesus on it? Is it right after that?
no, it was one before that.
Well, whatever came out around 1990, I think it was Words Are Very Unnecessary. I forgot whatever song
Oh yeah, Enjoy the Silence.
Enjoy the Silence, whatever album that was my bad one that I can't hear again. So I hear you.
Oh, yeah. And isn't it sometimes if I'm feeling really safe, you know, or I'll be driving somewhere and I'll hear it in the car and I dare myself to listen to it and just sort
Ooh,
of
it's playing with
like,
fire.
yeah, you do like an astral plane
Hmm.
little trip while you're driving, right? And, you kind of go back there and like remember who you were and how it felt and, and then you astral plane back and you're like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not there anymore. Like sometimes I'll
That's
listen
beneficial
I'll listen to it
sometimes.
that. Yeah, yeah, but it hurts. It's like a
Well,
bittersweet.
it's melancholy. It's very melancholy. And it's just, I think the main part of that is the fact that you came back and then you compared yourself. Okay, I'm not there. And I like
Yeah,
that you did that.
yeah. Well, I had a lot of therapy.
You're good.
I'm a big believer in
But
therapy.
songs, I think some people draw meaning to sound more than
Hmm.
other people. So it's not fair
Yeah,
to
I'm
judge,
definitely one of those.
but
Yeah, no, I'm
you put memory in, your memories were connected with that sound and smell probably too and other things. And that's just a certain personality type. And I share that with you.
yeah, smell takes you back definitely. But like when I hear that song by Company B, boy, I'm fascinated by your love toy. I'm
I'm
fascinated
fascinated
by your love toy. I always think of you and me going to Club 80s because we were going up the steps and we had our dollars out because it was dollar admission and it was dollar margaritas.
Oh my gosh.
And I heard that song, boop, 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 and I was like, oh my god, I love this song. So we like ran in there and ran on the dance floor. And remember the costumes?
Of course, I've got
We
pictures.
put the first time, but we did different looks.
Mm-hmm.
Looks. We had the first time we did like a Pat Benatar thing
Mm-hmm.
where we took those striped sweatshirts and we cut the sleeves off and made leg warmers out of the sleeves.
That was grand.
And I think I had a blue one and you had a red and black one. I had a blue and black
I
one,
think I
or vice
went
versa.
to and I don't even know if these are around anymore, but I think I found those at a Kmart, which is very odd. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I know they were cheap.
Oh, they
And
were
then we had like
great. They were
little
like
black
velour. Oh
skirts.
yeah, we were the best.
And I did the hair up clipped up on one side because I had that long red hair at the time.
Uh-huh.
It was like the Wendy and Lisa
Yeah.
look. And then the Pat Benatar makeup,
Hmm.
and oh my god, that was a fun night.
Oh.
And then another time we did the Day Glow. We did the Frankie Say Relax and the
Hmm.
Choose Life T-shirts with the Day Glow gloves. That was super
Great.
fun. And then we dragged three other girls. Remember
Hmm.
who was that? They were
Well,
other waitresses at
my
quote
friend
unquote
Liz, who is
famous
still
deli.
my childhood friend Liz, who happened to be working at the spot also, and then a waitress named Kristen, who was an aspiring
Kristen.
actress. Yes.
That's right, Kristen. Yeah. And we dressed as the Robert Palmer
Right.
girls. We all had black dresses and we slicked our hair back and we walked into this club and we were like the belles of the ball.
Were
I
we?
mean, all these gorgeous, fantastic, fabulous gay guys just thought we were the shit. And
Did
they
they
they all
really?
wanted to hang out with
Don't
us
remember.
cuz we were the Robert Palmer girls.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, oh, it was so fun. I love that. Love that. Every time I hear the Wham rap,
Mm.
I think of that Dayglow night. That was a big song that night.
Hey, sucker. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell's got into you? And oh my God, Shane. Remember
Oh my gosh. How
Shane?
could I forget Shane?
He was
This
this
girl has
beautiful
been in love with
boy.
Shane for decades.
Yeah, oh yeah, Shane, wherever you are, I hope that life just blessed you and I hope you are so happy. He was so beautiful and it was one of the happiest moments of my life. How sad is that? Like when I think about joy, this moment on the dance floor with this gorgeous boy who picked me up and spun me around when Xanadu came on.
Oh, that was your moment. I think it's okay to love that moment. I really do.
I mean, I still, right now, oh my God. It was so perfect. Just perfect. And you know how Xanadu starts, right? It's like, right?
A
So,
place.
yeah, a place nobody dared to go. which, by the way, I have watched more than once on my giant TV with my soundbar, like
Oh
last
my.
week. So talk about nostalgia. But yeah, he looked at me. We both looked at each other like, oh my God, it's Xanadu.
How cute.
And he picked me up and spun me around, and we danced all night. Oh my God, it was like one of the happiest nights. But how sad is
I
that?
don't think that's sad. I don't think you have to
Right?
say that. I think
And
it's lovely.
nightclub was like the
What's wrong with
greatest
that?
moment of my life.
Listen, I think it's
There's
lovely. I
so
think
much
it's
wrong with that.
so cute. And you know what? When you connect with a stranger, there's something really lovely about that. And who cares where it was? It could have been outdoors in a Greek cafe where you did that amongst bougainvillea, but it wasn't. It was in West Hollywood, and it was fun and it was cute. So I love
West
it.
Hollywood at Club
It was
80s.
lovely. It
Right.
really
It
was.
was fun. Yeah, I dug that. That was really a magical place to me. But you know what's funny? I've worked in nightclubs in New York City and in Buffalo, and like the lights come on and it just
Well, that's depressing. Okay, when the
it's
lights come
ugly.
on, that's different.
I mean, you realize like they're filthy and drunks and everything's awful but so
But you know what,
I
Rob?
can't
You
even
say that as
imagine.
someone that stayed and did side work, which I never did, so I have no idea what that's all about.
Yeah, man, what's up with that? I took a rag and cleaned off all those
I was out.
the
I was a
gunk on
horrible
the
person.
ketchup bottles and
No.
stuff. But you know what's gross?
Mm.
You would use the same rag to clean like 40 bottles.
I might have
You
cleaned
know?
one bottle, which is why
No, I
I never cleaned anything. So
the
sorry, everybody.
grossest thing to me, the thing I hated the most at quote unquote famous deli was when someone would order a fucking shake.
Well, you didn't. You
Cuz
know, you said it was broken. You-
oh well, I got wise. At first I was
okay.
like, "Oh, okay," and little Miss Rule follower, I'd run in the back.
Oh.
But that's what started me crying in the shake room because the ice cream was so hard and it was like way down in the freezer and you'd have to like your legs would be dangling up in the air, because your whole torso would be down there
And then
trying
when
to
you
scoop out ice cream.
came back out, you were all sticky.
Oh yeah, because the shit was all over you, and there was like old ice cream stuck everywhere, so it stunk. It had this like bad milk smell, and then you'd be cutting up bananas like right there on the counter, just like squeezing a banana into this, and then the thing would always break. You'd be like halfway through this, it was like, and then it would stop. Oh man, I hated that.
It was
I
horrible.
hated making shakes. And I hated the pudding side work where you'd have to take the big pudding tub and make the little pudding cups and then put the dates on. And so many people just changed the friggin' dates sticker instead of.
Sorry, everyone. I never did that side work or any of that side work. So, yeah,
I did.
you good girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's you know what? Our time is up. Like that is our first podcast.
You know what? There it is.
There it is, man.
We went through basic
And
training together, and here we are doing a
I
podcast, and
know.
I'm not mad at it.
Well, it took us so much time and effort to figure out how to do this,
But you know
right?
what? We did it. We did not
Yeah, we
stop.
did.
We are doers. When we come up with something, we do it. We published a book that's like,
That's right. We got to talk about our books quick before we go. So you are an author of many, many books.
many, many books.
Fantastic books.
Very silly.
Sunset Strip Diaries. It came from the 80s?
No,
Once Upon a Time in the 80s.
confetti covered quicksand is probably the one I'm best known
That's my
for.
favorite. I
But
love that one.
Robbie and I, something happened where she just got a weird inkling to contact me, and I got her in contact with my publisher, and I kind of like took her on as a project at my publishing house, at my companies, and we did books. So Rob and I are off. I mean, we might not
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real thrill. Like you helped me realize a dream of publishing a novel. I published a novel called Taking Liberty.
And I feel
Um,
like that novel is honestly going to end up on Lifetime. You guys
Well,
have got to read it. You've got to read it. If you're listening to this, Taking Liberty, published by S. and Fitzgerald Books. It's on Amazon.com. It's on Kindle and also paperback. Amazon sets the price, so I don't know. I can't give you the price, but it's also on BarnesandNoble.com. Pick it up. It's beautifully written, just beautifully.
Yeah, and you know what? Follow us on Twitter, Glitter Bomb Girls Show. I don't know. Twitter's kind of sporadic. I need to devote like regular time to our Twitter, don't I? Because
I don't know. I just don't give it. I just don't care.
I'll take
whatever
up
you
that.
see fit. Whatever you see fit. Okay.
Effort. Yeah, yeah. Twitter's weird. It's like sometimes I read it for hours and I'm laughing and like the best Twitter feeds in my opinion are the ones that go on during a show.
Oh, the live
like
feed?
During Vanderpump Rules or like Married at First Sight or any of these, any of these fun. Reality shows because people are hilarious.
That's fun. I look at Reddit when those are on. I kind of treat that as my live stream. So I understand. Well, it's kind of like you're watching a show with the funniest people in the room. So that's fun. Right. I get that.
Yeah, I love that too. I stay away from all the politics and stuff, and that's too crazy. But I like our Twitter. I think our Twitter's pretty cool. It's fun. So
wonderful.
So check out our Twitter, Glitter Bomb Girls Show, and I am Robbie-Ann McPherson, and you are
Amy Asbury.
And we thank you for listening to us. Give us a listen. We're gonna hopefully do this once a week, right?
That's right.
Can we do this once a week?
Of course.
Of course we can. If we can figure out how to get my mic in your headphones and your mic in my headphones, then we can figure out anything.
Come on now. Of course.
Right?
Of course.
All right. All right. Well, thanks, folks. Thanks for listening. And listen, you have a wonderful day, Amy. And we want to wish you a wonderful day, too. Any last words, Ms. Asbury?
Have a marvelous week, everyone. We'll see you next week.